What's up, everyone? Welcome to yet another episode of Cartoon Fight Night. Not quite sure about the episode number since this is being recorded in advance. My best guess is episode 45. I'm your host, B is Bonkers, and if you're new to this series, be sure to check out the first episode. But if you know how the game is played, then let's get ready for the fight. Tonight's battle was animated by Larry Winwood, so if you enjoy what you see, be sure to check out his link below. Speaking of tonight's battle, we have a fight between Steven Universe versus Frisk. Anyway, for a Frisk analysis, I recommend checking out, dare I say it, but the FNAF vs Undertale Total War. And for an analysis on Steven, check out the Steven Universe vs Undertale 3-on-3. Also, we will be using Frisk from the pacifist route of the episode, so with all this in mind, let's not waste any time and get straight into the battle. And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place in the Beach City Forest with no prep. Let the battle begin! And Frisk is our winner. Now before we discuss why, I'd like to thank Larry Winwood for the animation. Check out his links below if you enjoyed it. And thanks to the MLG Avocado for scripting this episode. His link will also be down in the description as well. Now why does Frisk win? Oh, I can hear the comments now.
Oh, but Frisk is a pacifist. He wouldn't want to fight Steven, let alone kill him.
But that argument doesn't work for several reasons. 1. So is Steven. He only fights when necessary. Steven rarely goes looking for a fight. He'd much rather talk his way out of his problems, so the same logic could be applied for both sides. Secondly, it's best to remove these kinds of killing restrictions in a versus debate. If you don't want to do that, congratulations, you just debunked Death Battle's Captain America vs. Batman. All of Batman's Versus series victories where a winner has a restriction from killing. Restrictions like these are unfair to include because it would basically guarantee characters like Steven, Frisk, and Batman losing every fight that they are part of. Now onto stats. Steven is a fairly impressive kid, being able to block island-level explosions and dodge lasers. But Frisk is far beyond this. At their best, Frisk was able of slightly harming Omega Flowey. The same Omega Flowey who could destroy the entire Undertale game. Even if it was slightly, this is still way beyond Steven. Call me crazy, but you're gonna need more force than an island-level explosion to harm a guy who can destroy entire timelines. And while Steven can dodge lasers, Frisk could keep going against Azrael, in an area where time was already destroyed, which would technically make Frisk's speed immeasurable at their peak. Adding to this, Steven has no real way to put Frisk down for good. Frisk can easily perform a timeline reset to compensate for any mistakes they made, while Steven can't. Any mistakes Steven makes in this fight, he'll just have to deal with. And with enough determination, Frisk could just keep on tanking any attack Steven has that could be a remote threat. With enough determination, Frisk was able to keep tanking repeated attacks from the first Dorito Slayer, the god of hyperdeath Azrael Dreamer himself. You would have to be joking that an extreme Steven Universe fanboy and Undertale down player, as well as under the influence of every drug that exists and doesn't exist, to say Steven throwing his shield like a frisbee could overpower and kill somebody that Azrael couldn't using his timeline-busting attacks, making the winner of this battle, Frisk. Now, for some reason, the pacifist version of Frisk who wouldn't hurt a fly is pretty much infinitely stronger than the genocidal maniac version of Frisk, so it would be more fair to put Steven against. So if you want to see a rematch between Steven and Genocide Frisk, just like the video, and for 2,000 likes there will be a rematch. Comment down your own ideas as they may become a future episode of Cartoon Fight Night, and stay tuned as I reveal the next fighters. On the next episode of Cartoon Fight Night!
Wait for it, wait for it, wait.